The Buzz is live now.
And welcome to the Digital Production Buzz, talk radio for digital production, post-production, and distribution worldwide. Thinking of the entire show, on our show tonight we've got Peter Storer, the president of Storer TV, who tells us how to make a profit. Now that is something I can always listen to. Peter Storer is the founder and the president of Storer TV, and he comes from a long line of broadcasters. This year, Storer TV celebrates their 25th anniversary with the development of their metadata and library management system, Quantix, and their automated workflow engine, Centrix. And Peter, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Larry. Glad to join you.
You're new to the show, so our goal is to still have you be grateful when it's over, so just to sort of position us properly. First, let's start at the beginning. Tell us what Storer TV does.
Well, Storer TV is originally a program management system. 25 years ago, the first system that I came up with was primarily geared towards program directors and letting them build their program schedules and keep track of film and film assets and all of the details, metadata around that. And then eventually it's evolved into a much more robust and cross-market category.
There's a phrase on your website that intrigues me where you say that your products enhance operational workflows. And I was hoping you could translate that phrase into English and explain what it means.
Well, we have several products which help the various departments, programming, feed into traffic operations, media transcoding, nonlinear scheduling for the group that get involved in that now. So we finally came around to the idea that we really needed a overriding product, which we now call Centrix, which allows you to customize and talk to not only our own other products, but third-party products. I spent the last 30 years, really, even before I started the company, doing integrations with various systems out there. I helped build some of the first CBS sales systems, the network sales level. I integrated things into BuZZ, for those of you old enough to remember who BuZZ or what BuZZ was. And then as my company got involved with third parties, we integrated in with Enterprise and Columbine and all of these other back office systems that were crucial to the workflow of TV stations. And through that experience, we've developed some very robust new systems, which we'll be showing at NAB, of course. And Centrix is a tool that allows you to communicate seamlessly to multiple platforms to be able to generate emails and triggers and dashboards and all of the various things that people want these days that really are part of workflow.
Well, I can see why a broadcast outlet would be interested in this kind of integration, and I wish you great success in selling into broadcast. But thinking of sort of the media producers in general, is there a piece of your product that has applicability outside of a studio or broadcast environment?
Well, Quantix is our tool for asset management, and it gives you the ability to track all of your media and customize metadata to whatever you want to store and put it into a web-based system that is easily accessible on everything from your normal computer systems to iPads and iPhones and things like that. It gives you the ability to link in, know where your media is in its current workflow, look at the detail of what has been completed so far, request checkouts of content, know when that content's arrived at your desk, all those type of things.
Sorry, I was just taking notes on all the stuff that you're keeping track of. Is it when you say metadata tracking, one of the whole big issues that we've got is keeping track of the rights of what we own, the keeping track of rights in terms of music and in terms of graphics and everything else. Can you help us in that area?
That's our core. That's how we got started, really, is our SIMS product, which is core to all of our systems, gives you the ability to enter in a contract, and that contract keeps track of when you can air any particular title, episode, long-form film, or it'll even go down to the child level, so it can keep track of multiple clips underneath those individual episodes. So with all of that detail, it'll allow you to indicate, I've got 5 runs that I'm allowed to air in this part of the country, and I've got another 20 runs that I'm going to be capable of airing in a separate area. So it keeps track of all of this content that is in Quantix, for example. It's all linked together, and it allows you to then build schedules and know when a particular item can be played and whether it's being played to an appropriate location and for a particular date, time, hour, and so forth.
Well, before I get too excited and whip out a checkbook and start to write you a check, can I afford to write you a check?
Well, we believe so. You'll have to tell me how much you're worth.
That's it. Tell me how much is in the checkbook and write it for that amount.
Exactly. We have all levels. One thing I learned early on in the business is there's big broadcasters and there's a lot of little broadcasters, and it's really important that we scale the price to fit particular environment. We run everything from tiny little TV stations in small markets to groups like TV Globo in Brazil. So, we scale it.
Well, thinking of that, is it hard to install? Does your crew have to come out and build it into our system?
It'll depend on the product and the configurations. It can be anything from literally a cloud-based turnkey solution where we host it totally for you, to a very complex installation where we have project management, we have business analysts helping determine your specific needs, designing a particular workflow. So we scale to all kinds of different needs, and that's really important, again, for having the broad range of our customers.
Take me on a case study. Give me an example of a customer that's using your products and how it's helping them, because I'm always interested in ways of streamlining workflow and decreasing costs and making sure I stay legally compliant with all of my contracts. But give me an example of you installed on a site.
Well, I'll pick on a Eternal Word Network. They broadcast 6 channels all over the world. They're based down in Birmingham, Alabama, and they are part of the Catholic Church. They're non-commercial, so they use our system to keep track of every single clip that they either produce or hire somebody to produce for them, and then they keep track of when and how it is scheduled out to 6 separate channels in multiple languages all over the world. So that the workflow, the details of it are too long to get into today, but there's a tremendous amount of complexity, and we're driving down to the FloorCal automation. So it's the full end-to-end solution. And then other places, TV Global, for example, we're building a customized solution to replace an old COBOL-based core film management system. And we're building it to a specific set of specifications and helping them integrate that into other parts of their workflow.
Is this something that you do and maybe your competitors do not do with these custom installations? In other words, who are your competitors and what do you do that they don't do?
We've been very squarely targeted into this rights through to production core part of the operations and have relatively little real competition in it. But then again, I don't want to invite people to start thinking they should come after us.
No, that's all right. You have no competitors. I'll call the FTC right now.
Probably a really good idea. Are you going to NAB, and what are you going to be showing that you can talk about this early before the show?
We are definitely. We're in the North Hall, booth 329. We are showing 2 big new products, our Quantix web-based media library management system, and Centrix, the workflow managing system that I talked about a few minutes ago. Of course, we'll also be showing our base SIMS product and always working with a number of people that come in with various custom projects for us.
Are you seeing a lot of demand for web-based and distribution of web-based access to the information? It seems to me that would be a hot button for your customers.
Definitely is. We had been originally a DOS-based system. My first product I wrote was based on a DOS platform. We gradually migrated into a Windows client server environment, and now we're doing our 3rd iteration and designing all of it at C# and using SQL Server backend and web front ends.
Some amazing stuff. And Peter, where can people go at NAB to find you? What was the booth again?
North Hall, booth number 329.
And where can they go on the web to learn more about you and your products?
Well, that's easy. It's my last name, Storer, Storer, TV.com.
And Peter Storer is the founder and the president of Storer TV. Peter, thanks so much for joining us today. I wish you great success at NAB with the launch of your new products, and thanks for talking with us today.
Thank you very much, Larry. Appreciate it.
You
Thanks,
take
Peter.
care. You know, Michael, the whole issue of keeping track of rights and the products and the assets, and especially as you get bigger, gets to
I
be
love what these
more-
guys do. They come in and just, here's what you need. And
Yeah,
we'll build it for you.
And not only that, but keep track of it. And the reputation they've got is amazing. So I'm looking forward to visiting their booth at NAB and learning more about what they've got for products.